No, is it also possible that a few, very powerful, can also influence the large majority into saying what will ultimately favor the few?
Yeah, Sulaiman, it's not going to be business as usual. You know, some of us, we're all.
But you understand?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. The few who want to really take over and then keep on manipulating us, he may not be too long. You see what will happen. I'm organizing my own people now. Just I put on my Facebook, I need 1,000 Nigerian men and women for us to sit down and begin to, think about this country and begin to provide solution. Already I've gotten over 1,000. Just under 2 or 3, just 3 weeks. Telling you that Nigerians are really getting awake, to really take over the soul of this country for their own benefit, for the benefit of all of us. It shouldn't be for only few. I have a stake in this country. I have a stake. Why is it that only few are enjoying? They have already assured themselves, assured their children, assured their great-grandchildren. They've been there since 60s. And Nigeria is not moving forward. I was saying, let us all strengthen this country for the benefit of each and every one of us. I travel, and when I travel, I watch the system of any country I go to. I see that the country is interested in providing what we call social service and social security for their citizens, and also define their responsibility. They pay their taxes, with joy and happiness, because the system is there to provide free medical service. Transportation is very effective. Every sector is being taken care of. Issue of legal mortgage. If you are working and you have a good job, you have a house. Even as a panebiter in England, you have a good home. As a mechanic, you have a good house. But here, with all the things you make and all that, you are the one buying your petrol, you are the one securing yourself, you are the one, almost everything, you are the one providing. And I said, no, this cannot continue. I go to abroad, I'm not a citizen there, they are driving me. If you fill a form now in UK, they ask you, have you taken any medical service abroad? And if you do, without paying for it, you are not going to England again. They will reject you. So I can't get those services abroad. I can't get it in my own country. And I'm saying this is the time for us to sit down and define this country that it will be beneficial for all of us.
Mr. Obani,
for all of us.
Let's look at the committee, the advisory committee. Yes. They're supposed to come up with modalities, nomenclature and all of that. What, if you were to advise them now, what would you be telling them?
Yeah, they should be looking at issue of having that particular talk backed by law. That is one of the first things I would tell them. Please insist on this talk being backed by law. Then secondly, the processes. And the processes, there must be a conference which should be sovereign. Sovereign in the sense that whatever is decided, we go to a referendum by the people. They'll be the one to have the final say. But the first thing we should agree is that all of us want to stay together as one indivisible nation. That is very, very key. They must agree. If Nigerians agree, then I tell you, even if it's symbolic, every day, if you now begin to treat me as an outsider, you say, no, we have all agreed to stay together. I'm part of this country. So I'm not going to be deported from where, a Yoruba man can go to East and contest election and win election and become a governor there. Because we have now defined our basis of stay. But we must all agree to stay together. Then those terms and conditions now will be worked out. Okay. Issue of federalism, issue of state police, issue of ethics in governance, issue of salaries of National Assembly members and even the executive. And that's why you shouldn't take it back to them, because by the time you agree, there is going to be issue of service. No longer when you come into government, you become a billionaire. Or you know somebody in government, you're a multi-billionaire. No. It is now going to be for service. If you're going to come into governance, you must have succeeded in your private sector and you are coming in to render service. So these are issues we're going to talk. And you can't take it back to National Assembly to look into. They will not agree with all those suggestions, yes.
Your first advice to the committee is for them to pursue a law. Sulaiman asked you earlier, I'm not sure you answered that clearly. What if the National Assembly refuses?
They have no basis for refusing. We are saying that this is what we want.
What if they refuse?
I said Nigerians will react. Because they even agree that this talk is necessary. We are saying give it legitimacy. So what is wrong with that?
So assuming, we get all we want, the National Assembly passes a law and, there's an act supporting the conference and, it goes to... How long are you looking at the talk lasting for?
People are talking about 2015. I think it's better we have these issues resolved before the election. I'm just telling you, because Nigeria was nearing in what they call implosion, almost on the brinks. You can see what is going on and all that. If a South man emerges today as a president, there is going to be a problem. The same thing with a northern candidate. Imagine as president. So we have reached that particular cross. Let us now agree to talk and agree how we must move forward as a nation. So it's important. So issue of election should not be critical in my own mind now. What should be critical is how to serve this nation. And I feel that this is time for us to really especially when we're nearing 100 years.
The thing is, you've also agreed that governance should continue. Yeah. I mean, our processes should continue. It shouldn't deter, you know, the conference, or the conference shouldn't deter governance.
But
I'm just saying, how long do you think that the talk should last for? How long?
This shouldn't take
what
more
is
than
the duration?
2 years. It shouldn't take more than 2 years.
So you see a situation whereby it could actually eat into 2015.
Yes, I foresee it, because we need to sit down and agree. And then when we agree, I tell you that election becomes,
but don't we see a potential problem there? Because if we're already getting towards 2015, and, you know, our processes in governance should continue as they are, what we're saying is that political parties should have been on the campaign trail presenting their candidates and also talking about what their plans and aspirations are. Right. And we're also saying that it's most likely that if these things are successful, we should be subjecting ourselves to a referendum in 2015 as well. Don't you see that we might be, you know, battling with a clash of interests?
I don't see any problem. You know, we have employed it before. You know, what we call doctrine of necessity. The Constitution is even on that. They are amending it now. I call it patch and all that. They can go ahead and still patch it and, you know, extend.
Exactly. So do you see that process also being held in abeyance?
No, they can go ahead and you know, patch the Constitution. But when the People's Constitution will come, that will be overtaken, you know, by the People's Constitution. They can patch and say extend this issue of 2015 to 2016 or 2017. As I said earlier, we're not stopping the processes, but the only thing is that can we hold election for a while and agree to really, you know, move this country forward? I follow him. It's important. To me, that is very key. We have not made any progress. We started with Malaysia. We started with many countries. We can't even see their back. Why is it that those countries have moved and we're not moving? So it is high time we sit down and talk and resolve these issues. And I'm saying this election should not be very key. We should, you know, put it forward and agree to really stay together, and then the processes under which we can stay together. And then I can assure you, the country will begin to experience progress. I'm saying, let us strengthen Nigeria so all of us will begin to enjoy. If you allow it this way, the foundation is very weak. The house will collapse. And it's not healthy for us to allow this nation to collapse.
Well, Kecha Ubani, many thanks for joining us. He's a legal practitioner and also the chairman, NBA Kecha branch.